and everybody got a stinking attitude. You know, if you tell them to fix your food right, you taking a chance of getting spit in your food or whatever else. Look it up. Stories online, plenty of them. A customer wasn't satisfied. They got that food back. They came back and they got it on camera. The people done spit in their food, urinated, all kinds of stuff. Nasty. And you spending $8, $9 for a meal. And you just could have nice and politely got to the grocery store and cooked it yourself. And that's why I don't mess with fast food no more. I can't deal with the attitude. And then that's because of that atmosphere, that narcissism. You don't want to be there. This just a job. You only getting some money. You're failing already. Because if you don't love what you do, you're not going to be successful at it. You're going to be going job to job, and these companies going to keep on having a revolving door. And if these bosses and CEOs don't start watching their projects, they're going to lose a lot of revenue. But you know what? Narcissism going to get rid of you before you get rid of them. And that's for real. Number 3. Your boss is obsessed with controlling all outcomes. Micromanaging, taking over projects when things they think are not going well. What are employees' every details on projects they want to know. Fired if you disagree with the boss's orders. Never admits that the boss made a mistake. Everything starts with the boss. If you're leading, you are responsible. And you need to incorporate a program up in there that's going to teach them teamwork. That's going to teach them patience, perseverance, customer satisfaction. They only coming back because they got the munchies. I'm telling you, this particular restaurant. It's sad. So, nobody's speaking out. Because they don't know what's going on. Because that boss is yelling at them, mistreating them, and disrespecting them. So they shut down. They do the minimum just to get a check, and they out the door. They don't care about people, none of that. So I'm thinking, how did that interview go? It's like, oh, you're hired, and that's it. Because that work performance is based on what the boss's expectations are. You'll know a restaurant when they on point because the facility is clean. The counters aren't sticky. The keypads are definitely not sticky. Somebody's always cleaning up because of the realm of the boss and their thinking. And they have a passion for what they do. So, but if you got a boss that ain't honest, that don't admit that they have a mistake, and they only need to fire when it's necessary, because you ain't got to get fired for every little thing. But there's some people out there, some bosses out there that'll do it and don't care. Cuss you out and let you go. And if you don't know what your rights and responsibilities is, you have to eat it up, take it as a loss, and keep it pushing. And that's not right either. And people need to research and look for these signs and say to themselves, do I want to work here? Do I want to be in the middle of all this drama? Is this paycheck worth all of this? Or you got to decide whether you want to be in retail or whatever field that you're going into that requires customer service. You could jump in at any time. Got 2 more to go. Number 4, your boss has little empathy for the staff. Like I said, you're cussing at your employees. You're manipulating them to work. You consistently, you know what I'm saying, that boss coming here, you know it's going to be this and that. That's not how you get them to work. That puts fear and offense in them. Now they're not going to perform the way they need to. You know. So, it's sad. Everybody's responsible for their own actions. But a narc does not think that way. They going to either work or they gone. It's not my fault they don't want to work. It's not my fault that she got an attitude today. How is your attitude today? My way or the highway? Do it like this, or I'm going to embarrass you in front of staff. I mean, You got some managers that'll blast you out in front of customers. Don't you shouldn't be pulling them to the side? Having a meeting after the shift is over. Like, it's so many ways you can fix a little problem. And it be nothing but a customer had missed a straw. Or they didn't get their ketchup. You can fix it. But do you want to fix it? And most of the time, nurses don't have no sympathy. I hired you for a job. You either do what I say, or you get out of here. I've heard somebody say, I'm in the middle of getting my meal in the middle of an order, and the manager say, after you get her order done, you can punch out. Got 5 kids at home and a wife. Won't give a homeless man $1. But the CEO come and tell you, pack your things and you can punch out. The narc don't ever feel like that. Because when they high on the hog, ain't nothing you can tell them. Very, very sad. But it's a way to do that. And that's why I mentioned, that's why you're going to keep having that revolving door. Because every time I come in there, there's new people in there. Every single time. I can leave for a couple days and come back. Just to see if the same people there. Nope. Different manager and different staff every time. I've yet to see a store the same people work there since the last time I was there. You don't see that a lot. You can't win people's loyalty by being mean. You can't win people's loyalty by talking slick. It's just not going to work. And finally, number 5. Your boss merely takes responsibility for his or her errors and loses people along the way because you got too many layers of defense, criticism, and blame. And everybody needs to take the blame and the part that they play in the whole situation. Then it turns into lawsuits. Then news coming, Fox 6 coming up in there. Now you're really embarrassed and all you had to do was sit down and have a meeting at the end of the shift. So, what do? Use flattery. How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie is the best book you could ever get on how to deal with people in customer service, business, and working on the job, period. Because people are there. So it shows you how to deal with different types of people. Dealing with Difficult People by Chris Brady. New York Times best-selling author. Shows you how the different stages and different characteristics that people have. And there are 5 types of dealing with difficult people. There's 5 types of people out there. And if we could take that on our job and actually implement that, boy, what a change you'll see in staff. People will stick around and make it fun again. So I call that book, since I read it, the fun side of narcissism. How you can allow narcissism to be a positive reinforcement instead of a negative one. Because we should have a place in every community that we can go to get good service. Or they don't need to be in customer service. Like, I think the interview need to be more detailed and see what kind of people that they're hiring and find out, are you here for the money or are you here because you love people and you like serving people? See, restaurant, hospitality, all that stuff falls into dealing with people. And you got to be a people person to do those kind of jobs. I'm sorry. Ride bus, public transportation, all that. Girl, don't even get me started on riding the bus. You say, hello, how are you? And they just turn their little nose up. Or, how's your, I was coming on a bus from the mall on my birthday. I was like, hey, sir, how are you? Good evening. It's a nice day, isn't it? He turned his nose up at me. I said, okay. How long is your layover? I leave at 6:50. Like, dude, I didn't get up with you this morning. But like I said in the show Loyalty, the golden rule, treat others how you want to be treated. I didn't get the memo that some people are not going to treat me the way I want to be treated just because I showed that respect. Some people don't know about posture. Some people don't know how to be nice. They was never taught that. They probably been mean all their life. That's how they got by. Or they just don't want to be there. And really, to me, if you don't want to work for nobody, become an entrepreneur. I did. I can tell you right now, I don't want to work for nobody because of this right here. I'm going through this right now. I got a boss that don't care about what could have been done different. The project would have looked better if it was this, and this. If we would have talked about it. Oh, I ain't got time for that. I work 18 hours. I'm not going to come and sit with you and talk to you about blah, 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 blah. Cranky, tired, don't get enough sleep, but you up all night watching TV. You filling your head with all that negative media. So, of course, you're not going to talk to me right. Of course. You're just not going to do that. I understand. Because you got all that garbage in your head. But if something go wrong, it's my fault. That's the bottom line to this. So, really, you got to either make a decision, get these books in your hand. How to Win Friends and Influence People. I have a copy. Let me know in the comments below how you want to get that information. And Dealing with Difficult People by Chris Brady. I can get that for you today. I can get you some information on where to go with that on my website, on how to get these books. These books help me also keep my job, but become better at my job. Because according to this Narc Boss, I suck. But I need you to be... And it's so funny. I'm on the verge of getting fired. So after all the manipulation, the cussing, and the negative attitude I get, well, I need you to come back next month on the 25th. I'm like, okay, I thought I was about to get fired. So you just cuss me out to vent your frustration, dump your junk on me? Like, that's not cool, man. And we had a conversation about it. And I let them know how I feel. On the way home while we're not in the office. You know what I'm saying? And we ain't on the clock. And I can really talk to him, man to woman. And say, hey, man, I don't like the way you've been talking to me. You need my help. I come out the comfort of my home to help you out. I didn't ask for your job. When I met you, I was knocking on doors, selling magazines. I already had a way to make money. I took this offer because I knew I needed a job in order to invest in my business. At the time, I didn't know about investments and all that stuff. But that was the plan. Get a quick job real quick, save a little money, and use it to start my empire. Because like I said, I don't want to work for nobody. Because of this, I've been a victim to this for so long. I worked in daycare for 10 and a half years. Same stuff. I was a good teacher. I did what I was supposed to do. I went and took the classes. I got certificates. And this manager she really was a nitpicker. And I started off in the baby room, infants and toddlers, from 6 weeks to 10 months. And then they moved me to toddlers, K2 and K3, 2-year-olds and 3-year-olds. And then they moved me to K4. Then they moved me to school agers. And I was real good with big kids. Because I had just got out of school myself. And I was young when I started. I started daycare when I was 18. So I knew about kids. Then I'm the oldest of 8 siblings. 5 sisters and 3 brothers. So they kind of trained me to know about kids a little bit. But man, I got in touch with that boss. I thought she was the sweetest lady until she worked on my shift. It's like with a Narc Boss, it's like they cool, but you just can't work for them. And that's what I felt like. It was cool, hanging out and going to events and, when I could spend a couple hours with you and go home and facilitate at the end of the year and teach other teachers. But like when we on the floor and we was working, we just clashed. Like we could not get along. And I wouldn't work with her today because she's still the same way. After all these years, just like she randomly called me like, are you still in daycare? I'm like, no, why? Well, remember when you used to facilitate for the teachers and stuff? I want you to come and do something for me. Like, she didn't ever ask me what was I doing, what my schedule was, nothing. She just kind of went straight in. That's what they do. They don't think you got time to nothing but do what they want you to do.